Fender has just launched an update to their very popular Ultra series. It is the Ultra II. We're going to tell you about what's changed in the lineup and demo this awesome tele for you, so stick around. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name is Chris McKee.
And I'm Cooper Greenberg, too.
We're here with Alamo Music 2 in San Antonio, Texas 2. And you can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos. If you want to support the channel, visit our spring store link below for custom swag and check out our podcast.
Yeah.
Podcast 2. It's called the Fretboard Confessional 2.
It's not. Don't look that up.
No, it's season 2 of the Fretboard Confessional.
A cheap knockoff podcast.
But this is 2. It's part 2. It is the sequel to the Ultra, which was a sequel to the Elites, which was a sequel to the Deluxes, which was a sequel to the Elites.
It feels like just yesterday we were in here talking about the new Ultra series.
But actually, it was like 3 or 4 years ago. Can you believe that?
Talk about time flying by.
Tempest fugitive. So we have a new Ultra Tele to show you. We're recording this before launch, so we don't have all of the guitars available. They are coming in. But there is a number of feature improvements to what is essentially Fender's top-of-the-line, most modern take on their classic designs. Now, I'm going to tell you at the onset, there's been a shakeup that I'm sure Cooper is excited about in the Ultra II lineup. We have for you, from Fender, it's the Ultra II Stratocaster, the Ultra II Stratocaster HSS. By the way, the Strat's the only one for you Southpaws available left-handed.
Really?
There's no Ultra II lefty in any other models, just the Strat. So if you're left-handed and you're wondering, there you go.
I mean, name a left-handed tele player.
Bruce Smith.
I'm not saying give a name to somebody that may. I mean, maybe they're thinking, all the famous lefties.
From Milwaukee.
Maybe Strats, whatever.
I don't know. So
I'm going to get smacked down in the comments by this. Someone's going to be like, you don't remember Paul Bufano. Paul Bufano. All right, go on. Sorry.
So lefty Strats. We've got the Tele. No HH or anything like that. And then there is a Meteora in the lineup, and P-Bass and Jazz Bass. Jazz Bass available as a 5-string. And there is no Jazzmaster. Sorry. There's also no Jaguar. If you want an offset, Meteora is going to be your jam. Comes with dual humbucking pickups. The Haymakers. There you go.
Haymakers.
If it's in church, it's the Waymaker. But if you're playing on a rock stage, it's the Haymaker.
Haymaker. So we got the Tele, and this is an interesting one because this is one of the only finishes that carries over from the original Ultra line.
Yep. So this is the Texas T that came with the anodized aluminum pickguard. That is now standard throughout the lineup. The color of it changes depending upon the finish, and we do have a number of finishes. Like Cooper said, Texas T continues. Ultra Burst
continues.
That's it.
That's it, because we got Sinister Red.
Noble Blue.
Solar Flare.
And Arctic.
Arctic? Is it Arctic?
It's Arctic.
Nope. Avalanche.
Avalanche. Yep. I was wrong. Get used to it.
We got kind of a primary color scheme going on with a few others, but red, yellow, blue. Solar Flare, I think, was your favorite at the event.
I was surprised how much I liked it. One of the interesting things that they talked about when they were doing the launch event for these is that the colors are based upon cars. Now, if you harken back to Fender history, the original colors were car colors that Leo Fender used from the major car companies, which makes sense because that paint would be available. Keeping with that tradition, it's now car colors, but they're very modern. So there's a lot of metallic flake that's in there. There's a lot of kind of light that bounces off of the contours. And I don't know exactly where all the colors are coming from, but it's stuff that you would see on a McLaren, like a high-end, car. So they're very cool. We have all been having debates in the shop, those of us who know about these guitars, of what our favorites are, because the Sinister Red, the Noble Blue, the Solar Flare, they all kind of have their own cool thing.
Yeah.
And the Avalanche is cool.
The color pairings are cool. Avalanche is the one I'm most excited about. I loved the Polar White, I think it was, on the or Arctic Pearl, something
It was
like.
Arctic Pearl because it had a
Yeah.
huge pearlescence that would change colors.
So I'm glad that it's not the same exact color, but it's a carryover of that because that's what I think was the sharpest of the Ultra line. I really like the Texas T, and my own personal Ultra is Ultra Burst. No more Jazzmaster, so I got a rare piece now. All right.
And just so everyone knows who's angry right now and grabbing their picket signs and pitchforks, I asked Fender what the deal was. And, they basically kind of talked about what sales figures looked like and having an offset in the media order and kind of going that way. And I thought we did well with the Jazzmaster. So maybe we'll see a return to it. There's no promises and there's no indication that that's going to happen. But maybe if there's enough outcry for it, we'll see that. Let's talk about what's new on these. So we talked about colors. We've talked about the pick guards. So all of them now have anodized aluminum pick guards. It varies depending upon the color. You've also got an update to the pickups. They're Ultra II noiseless pickups. And on the Tele, they're Ultra II noiseless vintage Telecaster pickups. So there's a kind of a nod to vintage, like the P-Bass has a similar nomenclature. There's a nod to a vintage tone that they're trying to go after. Whether or not they succeeded, we'll talk about on the other end of it. Like the Ultras before it, you'll see a lot of things that are the same, like the S1 switches, giving you some different options.
Push.
So if you go to like an HSS Strat, it's going to have a push that gives you a split option on the Haymaker humbucking pickup, which is, again, a new pickup in the lineup.
Series parallel on this guy.
Series parallel.
Nice angled switch.
So this is new.
Easy access, which I like.
Yeah. So
it's super it's subtle, but I think it's cool.
It's more ergonomic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because neither at the event nor any of the stuff have they really highlighted that, and yet all of us guitar geeks that were there were like, hey, the switch is angled.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. So very contoured body.
Yeah, nice kind of, and then of course a little, as well as honk and, so contours all over this thing.
Those are the technical terms.
And I think since the Player 2s came out, they have been allocating all their rosewood to that because
Ebony.
So
the big change on the necks they are quarter sawn maple necks, D-shaped. They have ebony or maple fingerboards, jumbo frets, and a 10 to 14 inch radius. Which, yeah, I'll take all of that.
Check
off all the
stuff.
boxes.
But yeah, I think
we should also talk. So you still get locking tuners, but another new addition is the side dots.
Side dots.
Luminlay. I don't know why. I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence. Every time I want to say Luminlay for some reason, but it's Luminlay. And subtle things too that they're not really marketing, but like the logo's a little bit different on them. The nuts are Tusk nuts and
truck nuts, I think. Yeah, the good thing is...
Oh, and they're all alder body.
So, like the Player series that got a big update this year, they didn't change too much about it. They just
a refinement.
Tweaked a couple little things and made it a little nicer.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people are going to dig the ebony. But there's also, like, certain parts about this. I liked the Ultra Teles a lot before, but I think that body looks a little... I was going to say sharper, but it's actually more rounded.
It's comfortable.
I think it's a really nice feel on the body. I like the new colors. And if it's not Luminlay, I'm not playing it,
So Luminlay is something that you typically will see on Charvels, Jacksons, some kind of hot rodded guitars. And it's usually, basically what they do is they glow in the dark when you're on a dark stage. So it's a very cool player-centric feature.
Which it doesn't really look any different. It looks like it's a kind of vintage white dot that's like outlined with black, which makes it look sharp on the guitar itself. But, oh yeah. Uh-oh.
Can you tell?
No.
So it still retains the satin ultra smooth finish. They are ultra rolled edges. Maybe they're Ultra II rolled edges.
Yeah. Roll it again. Yeah, very cool.
Roll it also.
I'm excited about seeing that Meteora because it's gonna obviously. If you watched our Ultra Jazzmaster video, you know I bought one of those. I really like it. I just did a recording session over 4 days where that's the one guitar that I played the whole time.
Oh, is that what's on those recordings?
Yeah.
Sounds great.
And I love it. I love that guitar. And I went up and down with it for so long.
Well, you know what's going to happen?
I was going to go with,
it's going to be like the Les Paul, right? It's got discontinued.
Yeah.
And then people are going to hear Cooper Greenberg playing it like, hey, where's that Ultra II Jazzmaster, man?
I think the Meteoras are cool, but it's a totally different guitar.
The Meteoras, out of everything, are really the rock machine. And we were just talking about it before we started rolling. When they first came out, and I think it was in the Parallel Universe, release years ago with the Meteora, it was like a Tele pickup wise, but the shape was so kind of futuristic and kind of metal looking. And I said, this should have humbucking pickups. And then they did, was it the Player Plus line with humbucking pickups? And they did a Paranormal version, I think, with humbucking pickups. And now the Ultra Series. I think that's what that guitar needs.
Yeah.
And so in that lineup, it's actually pretty cool to think about it because now, for the first time in the Ultra lineup, you have a dual humbucking kind of monster. Now, they did have the Ultra Lux Tele. That kind of had that.
Ultra Lux gone?
As far as I know, Ultra Lux is gone because they didn't talk about Ultra II Lux. I don't know if it's a continuation, but I do think that it's going away.
That's kind of a bummer. But I think these are nice, and I got to play it. And I'm a Tele guy, so I dig it already. But take a listen.
So there you have it. It is the Fender Ultra II Telecaster.
Strap locks.
Strap locks. Yep, thank you. blocks. By the way, these are chromed brass, individually
Nice.
intonatable saddles. So very cool. So you're a Tele guy. These big old knurled knobs. See, look at that.
That's a big knurl.
It's a little thing that they don't really talk about, but that is not the same knob
Yeah.
as what was on previous stuff. And it really, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's cool. So as a Tele guy, it's a very modern Tele.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rock this?
I would rock it 100%. I think every time we do a Tele, somebody comments, because we always say Teles aren't just for country. And then even if I play something that's not country at all, they're like, this dude's just playing country.
Guess who's demoing this on a lot of their initial marketing?
Jim Root.
John 5.
Oh, John 5? Cool.
And he's just rocking out on a Tele.
Yeah. Tele, to me, I love my Jazzmaster. I love my Strat. Tele's the one that if I'm going to any gig, any of the many people that I play with, I know I can bring the Tele, I can get a good sound out of it, and it's very versatile. So I dig it. I liked the Ultra Teles as they were. I think this, just making a couple little tweaks, nobody's going to complain about extra arm contour. Do you think somebody is?
I do. Yeah, that's why I was curious your take on it because I've spoken to plenty of guys who like a lot of the features, but they don't want the belly cut. They're definitely not going to like that. Although ergonomically, it's just comfortable because...
Why don't they like that?
Because it's not traditional.
They want to hurt?
But here's the thing. Like, if you want a traditional Tele, you can get a 51 AV2. I've got a 51 AV2. And I love that guitar. And at the end of the night, I'm kind of going like, oh, geez, I wish it was like more comfortable here.
Yeah.
What's funny is you'll see guys I've seen so many people that would take Teles and like do that to it.
Yeah.
Just to make it more comfortable. So I dig it. I think if you don't like that stuff, you probably just don't want an Ultra. You want something that's vintage style. So
they make other stuff.
They do.
Pro 2s, AV2s.
Yeah.
Now Ultra 2s. Everything's a 2.
But I like the ergonomic features that were introduced on the Ultras. I still like them. I think this is a small little cool thing because it is comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's a weird difference in motion that makes a lot more sense. So yeah, huge upgrade. I can't wait to get the Strat, the HSS Strat, and the Meteoras in for sure.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see you try to demo a P bass or jazz bass.
Thumping it up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think it's cool. I think they look good, and I think they sound good. So what else is there?
They are launching right now here in the middle of October, and at initial launch, there's going to be mixed availability depending upon the model and the color that you want. So if you are wanting to take advantage and get in on these new Ultra 2s, it's the guitar you've been wanting from Fender your entire life and they're finally making it, then you need to kind of jump on early on what's available or get a pre-order in on what is soon to arrive is a good way to put it.
There we go.
And then, going forward, we'll see what they continue to do with the Ultra 17. No, I'm just kidding. They'll change the name. The Elite Ultra. They need to go to the Deluxe Elite Ultra at some point.
See y'all in 4 years.
So very cool. Before we finish this video, though, I do want to talk about a little bit on the pickups for this. So because you demoed it and you made a comment to me about it, it is supposed to be Ultra to vintage Telecaster pickups. Initially, your thought on these were?
I thought they're pretty bright.
Pretty bright? How do you feel power-wise?
Pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Telecaster pickups are never not weak, powerful. Yeah, they're pretty in your face. But it's a little on the bright side.
Yeah.
Which I kind of wonder what vintage era they're going for because the 51 I have is not bright.
Yeah.
I think 52s tend to be brighter. So maybe that's what they're going for. But you made an adjustment there to compensate for it. So I would say, if you can get into your store, if you can come in and visit us, try it out. Otherwise, pay close attention to, the videos and how the sound comes through,
Yeah. I think the thing is for me is where the amp was set before I started, it's typically all at noon. This time, treble and mids were pushed a little bit and bass was right in the middle. And I ended up just rolling off the treble back to about noon. And
kind of bring it back to where we usually demo. What did you demo last time on it? That maybe we changed it for. Do you remember?
I don't know.
Some Les Paul or something?
Years ago. Maybe so. I think it might have been that SG Supreme.
Yeah.
But this, it's got plenty of that Tele punch and twang built in and the bite. But every amp is different, every pedal setup is different, every player is different. And so we give you a pretty, try to be blank slate. This is it just running into an amp. But if you're looking for an electric guitar, it's always a good idea if you want to go demo it with an amp that's similar to yours. But also, I don't think anybody goes out there and plays with all the knobs set to 12. Like you're gonna have to dial something in. For me, I switched some stuff up based on how it was last time. Where we got it for the demo, I felt good about it. And then the S1 switch is it's not just like a random little thing. Oh, throw that on. It's like a definite change in the sound.
Series on the Telly is huge. I had that on my previous one. It's one thing I kind of miss.
Yeah.
Is it's like a big fat humbucking tone. It's not just both pickups. It's like there's a gain stage bump that goes through it, but it's not as trebly as just the bridge pickup on its own. It's really nice, particularly with some overdrive. That series is a really great option.
But you can rock.
Yeah, for sure. So this guitar is going to be available right now at launch, unless it's already sold. So you can go to our website, which is
alamomusic.com. All the stuff we expect to be coming hopefully is in by launch, because I think they're all shipping kind of to everybody right now. So you may see other things available. You may see pre-order, and you also may see something on Fender's website or whatever that if you have questions on, ask us. We can get them. And they're all cool. And Chris actually got to see him in person beforehand. This is the only one I've put hands on. But he has told me that the finishes look very, very good in person.
I really like the solar flare. I think it's the one that photographs probably not as great, but in person really pops.
Maybe videographs even better. So obviously when the other ones come in, we'll do some more videos.
Yep.
At this point, I don't know if we have any Ultras left.
I think we have 2 Strats left.
So, if we have them, we can compare them. If not, we're just going to be showing you all the cool new stuff, because I think video is a better way to get an idea than just looking at it online.
Absolutely. With that in mind, make sure that you have subscribed and that you turn on the notifications, because as soon as we drop a video or even a short on this stuff, you'll get a notification. You'll be able to watch it first before everybody else, get a leg up on there. So let us know what you think in the comments below. One of the interesting things is I wonder how people will receive the anodized pickguards across the lineup instead of just on specific models. I think it's cool. I wonder how everyone else is going to take those. How knurled do you want your knobs to be?
That's max knurled.
Yeah, just let us know in the comments below what you think about the new guitars, and make sure that you keep it here, and we will bring you all of the updates. So we'll see you next time.